Eric Deters, the Bulldog, on Class X Radio. It's Wednesday morning, if you didn't already know that. And I'm going to be departing these airwaves a little early this morning at about 8:15 to go out to Boone County, where I have 3 important legal matters where I must attend in court. And I'm going to leave it to the 3... I don't know what I could call them.
Stooges.
Stooges. That's what I was about. You know, you read my mind.
What else is there 3 of? The 3 Musketeers, maybe.
But I'm going to save pop culture and sports till then because I want to give them something they know what a little about. A little bit about.
I think is he worried about the way, us talking? Really?
Chuck Colebrook. I don't know. Chuck Colebrook, William, Sarah. I don't know who screwed this up, but I told them, and I can prove it. I was doing the radio promo, and I was talking about his tractor-trailer brain injury case that I have, and they had offered like $230,000, and there's $1 million limits. Well, they put it in the promo that the offer was $2.3 million, and I want $10 million.
They caught my eyelash.
They added a little bit of zero to that. Good job, guys. Everybody thinks I'm one greedy bastard.
I'm like, damn.
Well, no,
he's really going for the throat here.
Big.
Good God. You can't delegate anybody. Huh?
I know what the numbers were.
I mean, my goodness gracious. All right, Texas Ranger Bill McDonald gives us the quote today. No man in the wrong can stand up against a fellow that's in the right and keeps it coming. That's what he says.
If
I don't
he
know if
says
that's
so.
true or not.
If he says so.
On 1851, Moby Dick by Herman Melville was published. How do you like that? Herman Melville. 1906, Roosevelt became the first U.S. president to visit a foreign country. He went to Panama. That was, of course, Teddy. He was also the first president to fly in an airplane, ride in a submarine, ride a bicycle, ride in a car. He did everything. OPEC was formed in 1960. 1960, Ray Charles, Georgia on My Mind, reached #1. And this is the anniversary of the 1970 Marshall University football team airplane crash.
For those of you who may not know,
It's your boy.
this is the final resting place for 6 members of the 1970 Thundering Herd. The plane crash that took their lives was so severe, so absolute, that their bodies were unable to be identified. So they were buried here, together. 6 players, 6 teammates, 6 sons of Marshall. This is our past, gentlemen. This is where we have been. This is how we got here. This is who we are today. I want to talk about our opponent this afternoon.
You know who they ended up playing?
Faster, stronger, more experienced. And on paper,
Their
they're
first
just
game back?
better.
Yeah.
And they know it, too.
OU?
Xavier.
Oh, really?
But I want to tell you something that they don't.
Xavier used to have football.
I do remember that. I think actually Kevin Huber of the Bengals, the punter for the Bengals, his dad used to play for the...
Really?
I've seen it.
All right.
You have shown it.
Disney's Lion King set a Broadway record of 2.7 million daily sales. By the way, I owe my newsletter team an apology. I just checked my text. I added 1 too many digits on there. Hey, will you take over the show while we look at Farrah Fawcett poster for a minute?
Yeah. I thought that's where I saw it. I saw it in the text. I didn't see it in the newsletter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's where I saw the extra.
Yeah, I did
extra
screw up,
zeros.
man. Oh, well. Today's famous birthdays. Kurt, bankrupt because I bet on a wrong game shilling, 46. Yanni.
No, it wasn't a
Yanni.
bet. Oh, yeah. He invested in a video game.
Yanni, 58 years old. I liked his music.
So did my dad. We always made fun of him.
But he's like gone. Like he did that one concert in the Greek in Athens, the Acropolis, and now he's disappeared again. Maybe it was just because Linda Evans was going out with him is why he was doing well. Former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice is 58. Prince Charles
we
is
can
64.
only
Oh, we
know
got something here.
that there is no choice
Condi.
because one of two things
What
will
does her and
happen if
David
we
Letterman
don't
have in
lead.
common?
Either no one will lead and there will be chaos, or someone will fill the vacuum who does not share our values. My fellow Americans, we do not have a choice. We cannot be reluctant to lead, and you cannot lead.
You got anything on Prince Charles?
Like
He's
she's
64.
your best friend.
No, we don't.
How about a Claude Monet painting? We got a Claude Monet we could show to the...
I do have a clip of that.
And Robert Fulton. All right, let's just see how... Denise, be quiet. You might know. Denise, Garrett, what did Robert Fulton invent?
Cotton gin?
Close.
I have no idea.
That was
Actually,
Eli Whitney.
Eli
I
Whitney.
said that yesterday.
Steamship.
okay.
Oh,
I was
it was
actually going to say.
pretty
Well, I was going to say
closer
steam
than Denise.
engine. No, I was. That was like. I'm like no. I don't know.
You
Should've said
guys,
something
you guys
like
are single, so
condom.
you need. This applies to you more than anybody. Today's National Clean Out Your Refrigerator Day.
I don't have anything to clean out.
Why would that refer to us? My refrigerator's always cleaned out. I'm a girl.
Well, look who's here.
How you doing, Bill?
Oh
He's
my
hanging out
God,
here.
we got Bill's going to
Put that
join
on
our
camera.
show.
Sit right here for right now. Can he? Is he on?
I just want to thank you all for inviting me to the show because I think this is one of the best shows. It's much better than Morning Joe Coffee Show.
He needs a higher
I'll tell
chair.
you right now, I like it.
He was actually, wasn't he on the
So I
show
get to
yesterday,
be,
Zim?
I get to be here every day. By the way, Hillary's in Australia, wine tasting. Come to New York.
Yeah, but he's sitting by me. Why isn't he sitting by you?
Because he wants to be by you. I want to be by you. Excuse me. How about that? That looks perfect.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton joins our show.
Yep.
He'll be here every day with us. Army Sergeant Matthew Stiltz, 26 of Spokane, Washington. God bless him. Lost his life in Afghanistan of wounds suffered when insurgents attacked his unit with indirect fire. Garrett forgot his taps.
I was just getting it out here.
Yeah, that's all right. Too late now. That's all right.
Now.
Today, partly cloudy, high of 47. Thursday, mostly sunny, high of 52. Friday, partly cloudy. Feel good song on Facebook is the Immigrant Song. How do you like that? Denise, give us a quick traffic report.
Nothing going on.
I love that.
Hey, put the mic
I
up.
always wanted to do that. You want me to put it up to Clinton?
Put the mic up to Clinton.
I was going to say, I always wanted to be able to just stand up and say, there's nothing going on.
Can I introduce the song? Can I introduce the song?
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
How about Samara?
You didn't, Bill?
Garrett, how about Samara Smith?
We got it.
I like Samara Smith. Remember when?
No, I don't have any cigars.
Hey, Denise, remember when? You don't remember, do you? You'll remember now. This is the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Well, last night, and I'm going to leave sports to the end for these guys and gals, but my University of Kentucky Wildcats, I tell you right now, they're going to be good at the end. They're still a little young, playing a senior-laden Duke team. Let's do some jack wagons. The Oliverio restaurant at the Avalon Hotel in Beverly Hills is charging $500 for a 12-ounce Kobe beef hamburger topped with truffle-infused cheese and 2 ounces of shaved white truffles.
You jackwagon?
That is ridiculous.
In L.A.?
Yes. Bambi Glazebrook, the 29-year-old Indianapolis woman, was arrested after a 2-month-old son was found sleeping in the drawer of an entertainment center. He weighed 5.5 pounds as he had been starved and has since died.
Oh, my God. 2.5 months old.
Jackwagon is
You jackwagon?
Yeah.
That's just horrible.
And Hillary Clinton. What are you going to say about Hillary, dog? Instead of testifying before Congress this week, Hillary is in Australia where she is expected to visit with close friends and attend a wine tasting in Penfold's McGill estate.
You jackwagon?
Isn't that unbelievable that she's over there wine tasting?
Yeah.
You notice that whenever something hits the fan, Hillary goes out of the country.
She'll have all the security she could possibly need.
I have soured on old Hillary in light of her BS relative to the Libyan thing. She just lies. We're going to give Oracle status to our girl Tricia Mackey, who's back on the air at Fox 19. Dun, 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 dun.
I just saw his back on the air is Clyde Gray, too. He was sick for a while. Just sell it actually on Facebook.
We're going to give an oracle for a late-night TV host, Craig Ferguson, of Petraeus being the new Call of Duty Black Ops 2 game, said, even though General Petraeus is the Secretary of Defense, he's not dipwad. I guess he's in the movie, he is. He's not in the game very much. He spends most of his time in the hotel room getting debriefed.
I was going to say, on top of that, you just called him a
You've been awarded Oracle status.
Montana State Senator Jerry O'Neill has requested the legislature pay him in gold. He said it's very likely the bottom will fall out from under the U.S. dollar. That's pretty cool. We ought to all demand to be paid in gold.
Bulldog, I'd like to be paid in gold.
Class X.
Good luck with that. Greg Gutfeld of Fox News said Susan Rice as Secretary of State is like appointing Bill Clinton a marriage counselor. Come on, Gutfeld.
You've been awarded Oracle status.
That is pretty funny, though. Marriage counselor. You got anything going on in traffic now, Blondie?
Nope.
All right.
I'm so helpful, aren't I? There you go. That's really good. That's kind of like as fast as my wedding was. Okay.
Not as fast as your marriage was.
That's pretty long, actually.
Do you know Beethoven as a child gave such a poor impression to his music teachers that they pronounced him hopeless?
Really?
He proved
he was also completely deaf when he wrote the Ninth Symphony.
I knew he was deaf.
Song. We ought to find that song. That's one of the greatest songs of all time.
It's kind of like the guy that invented crayons was colorblind.
That's right.
That's pretty. Think about that.
Arresting the president. An American president cannot be arrested unless he willingly agrees. When Grant was stopped while speeding his carriage in the Capitol, by the way, Grant was famous for doing that, driving his carriage too fast. Grant urged the policeman to take the appropriate action. He was taken to a police station, but the speeding charge was dropped. James Garfield, who was like president for a few months, was ambidextrous. All right, Garrett, you know what that means?
Use both hands. I can do certain things ambidextrously.
Yeah, we all can. And schooled in classical languages. He could write Latin in one hand and Greek with the other simultaneously. Wow.
That's
what sort
pretty
of things
impressive.
Wait, what can he do?
Write simultaneously.
Write Latin with the left and Greek with the right at the same time.
That's cake. What sort of things can you do ambidextrously?
All those things that a man has to have done sometimes.
Okay, yeah, I know that one, but
I can't do anything with my left hand.
Rake leaves, throw a frisbee, shoot pool.
You can with your left. Are you left-handed or right-handed?
How about this? At some point in a guy's life, it comes down to this. By the way, this was submitted by the new pursuiter of our traffic gal, Jason Dethridge. 4 guys have been going on the same fishing trip for many years. 2 days before the group is to leave, Gary's wife put her foot down and told him he isn't going. Gary's mates were upset that he couldn't go, but what could he do? 2 days later, the 3 get to the camping site only to find Gary sitting there for tent setup. Firewood gathered, dinner cooking the fire. Hell, Gary, how long have you been here? How did you talk your missus into letting you go? Well, I've been here since yesterday evening. I was sitting in my chair at home, and my wife came up behind me and put her hands over my eyes and said, "Guess who?" I pulled her hands off. She was wearing a brand new see-through nightie. She took my hand and pulled me in the bedroom. The room had candles and rose petals all over. On the bed, she had handcuffs and ropes. She told me to tie her and cuff her to bed, and I did. Then she said, "Do whatever you want." So here I am. You guys want a beer?
I like that one. That's pretty good. That's the sort of things you get with Jason.
Is that what it is?
Dude, they were texting. They had a big old texting relationship going on yesterday.
Relationship is going.
What happened? Read the entire conversation.
No, I don't want to read
it. No, there's nothing to read. He just, I don't know, texted back to him, talked to him on the phone. He was thinking about going crappie fishing yesterday. He asked me if I fished. I do fish.
What a hellbilly.
Shakespeare for the day is worth repeating. By the way, I have a fan that wants you to apologize to NASCAR fans about your comment about the brawl of a bunch of hillbillies.
All right.
So just like Trisha Mackey had to apologize.
Let me say, all right, hillbillies. I apologize for saying they got into a brawl. It was really only 2 people, and it just looked a lot worse than it was.
All right.
Hillbillies, not what they do.
Shakespeare for the day. To mourn a mischief that is past and gone is the next way to draw new mischief on. God, that's good. I like poetry.
That's one of my favorites. Love that one.
Well, we're going to skip over pop culture because, again, I got to save something for these guys that they know something to talk about, so we're going to save pop culture for them. A Villa Madonna student fell from a third-floor window Tuesday afternoon. Complained of back pain. I hope. Complained of something.
Yeah.
Jeez, oh, Pete.
Wow.
Air cared.
Third story?
Yeah.
I didn't think it went up that high.
Cincinnati Council's going to buy Tower Place Mall for $6.6 million. Isn't that special?
Is that the one in Kenwood?
No, Tower Place is the one in downtown.
Who's buying it?
Cincinnati.
Oh.
Out of foreclosure. Warren County Commissioners approved plans for $175 million Racino yesterday. 700 jobs are expected to be created on the site. Yeah! Elmwood Place Village Council member Gerald Robertson asked Mayor Stephanie Morgan to resign due to the mismanagement of a traffic camera system. The mayor refused to resign. Guess what, folks? I'm going to be suing the city of Elmwood for that. I got clients who have been cited with tickets. And when we come back, I'll say this before we go to the break. Here's my argument about those tickets. You don't find out that you had a traffic offense till days later. I think it violates your Sixth Amendment right to cross-examination and defend yourself because, when you get pulled over by a cop right then and there, you're able to know what happened. You know you're being charged. You can see who your witnesses are. You can do all that. You find out that you're charged 2 or 3 days later and you didn't know on a traffic ticket. You have no way of defending yourself.
No idea. Yep. Those. Have you ever had a ticket or anything by a red light camera?
No, I wouldn't pay it if I did.
I've blown through a few toll booths up in Chicago and figured I would.
Did they come get you?
I think you get one freebie. So
what?
Buffalo Springfield is our song from the Spry list. For What It's Worth is what it's called. For whatever it's worth, we're going to play this song on Class X Radio.
Okay.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. We would like to just let everybody know that Class X Radio is on 88.9 in Cincinnati and 89.1 in Northern Kentucky and Indiana and 89.3 in Warren County. Or you can listen live on ClassXRadio.com.
That's the best signal anyway.
And live TuneIn Radio or the Class X app. And you can, of course, call us at 513-201-8891. 513-201-8891 if you got something witty or wise to say. You can also watch streaming live on the BulldogNation.com. How about a traffic report there, young lady? Is there a traffic report?
Well, you know what? I have to say there's really nothing going on out there as far as everything else around the Tri-State.
I thought we decided we couldn't play that music because then it can't go up on YouTube. You're going to get fired again. Continue with your traffic report.
No, there's nothing going on. We're good right now. Good to go. I tell you what, everybody just needs to warm that car up. Did you have to scrape your windshield this morning?
I did not have to. I did yesterday, but not today.
No, I did. Did you? It must be just.
Scrape it, I just warmed it up.
Oh, I just used the windshield wiper fluid again.
Evelyn was in here yesterday, our Hispanic friend. Wasn't she delightful?
She was good.
Awesome.
She was
charming
good.
Charming lady.
Beautiful daughter.
She said, "Thanks so much for having me on your radio talk show. This is something I consider the benefits of being an American. I can go anywhere, freedom of speech. Having been a guest on your show is like if my friends could see me now. They will be my enemies now." Joke. I am truly living the American dream. Thanks for your generosity. Is that sweet or what?
Very nice.
Sweet. Mm-hmm. Very nice. Thank you.
Evelyn is a sweetheart.
You talk about somebody who comes into the country the right way.
Yes.
And makes a name, does it the heart, and works hard.
And is a productive citizen.
I got no problem with that.
And how about this, though? Wasn't it interesting that she said, and I think she's right, I think the last election that we just had proves it, that she says that the Hispanic community is basically down with, hey, free stuff. That's where we are. And they used not to be that way. But here we are now. All right, big news. Stacy Schuler said she was sorry for her actions before Warren County Common Police Judge Robert Peeler called her a model prisoner unlikely to reoffend. Here we have it.
And I would like to take full responsibility for all of the crimes and all of the harm and the pain that I've caused everyone who's involved. I've been going weekly to Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, Codependents Anonymous. I've taken domestic violence course. I took a boundaries course. I've been in counseling for people with bipolar disorder and depression.
Good for her. You know what? I wish her the best.
Yeah.
Her crime was having lots of sex with young boys. They enjoyed it.
It was the best time in their lives.
I know. They're gonna be writing books.
Yeah,
they could do it. They could do a movie about that case. Porn movie.
No comment.
Denise would watch it. Is what she
comment.
meant by that. She'd be the first to buy it. Actually, did you just? Yeah, you'd act in it.
I have young boys.
A case in the front of the state Supreme. You're like my wife. A case in the front of the. She's got different opinions about that stuff. A case in the front of the Kentucky State Supreme Court could force school officials to Mirandize students while questioning when a school resource officer is present. Heck, that ought to be the law. The case stems from in Nelson County where a student faced jail time after he admitted a crime without being Mirandized. I say yes. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, the Port of Greater Cincinnati Development Authority and everybody else, they're trying to finance the Brent Spence Bridge with a toll. Toll.
I was just going to say.
Let me tell you, I just saw the word toll.
I can't imagine.
Let me tell you something. Here's my opinion of that, okay? We use federal tax dollars to build bridges and hospitals in Afghanistan, Iraq. We blow money on Solyndra and all that crap. I say, if we're going to borrow some money for China, spend it on something the federal government is supposed to do, which is a damn bridge on the interstate across the Ohio River.
On a main artery.
So, Pat Crowley, you may be a lobbyist for all those people that want a bridge to be paid by a toll, but I'm on the other side. I'm going to whoop your ass.
Can you imagine how bad
How's that for a
be?
throwdown? Somebody told me Crowley was lobbying for the toll for those people, making money. Making money as a lobbyist. You whore, Crowley, taking money as a lobbyist.
I don't care.
We'll see if Crowley gets word that I just did that to him.
You know what that
guy's my buddy.
Well, we should have texted him and told him.
But he's wrong.
You know what? You're right.
I tell you right now, the federal government should pay for the damn bridge.
Well, since Obama stood in front of it and said he would, then yeah, he should.
It's not just that.
Yeah, Obama, you want the Bulldog to be on your team in 2016. You build that bridge.
That is a main artery in the United States from north to south. And everybody has to cross that river. So why should we? Can you imagine the traffic nightmare if that was a toll bridge?
It'd be terrible. I'm going to tell you something else, too,
Obama. As it is.
Obama's people are listening, Secret Service at least. I want you all to know that if you build that bridge with federal tax dollars, I'll never say another bad thing about you. See what kind of power I got.
Bridge does have to be replaced.
Zim, we need that pulled off so we can send that to the president, please.
They need to build it 8 lanes right there.
It just, to me, if you watch that traffic every single day, those 2 lanes going across the Brent Spence, it is ridiculous. And heading from northern Kentucky into downtown, that's the only way. I mean, in Ohio, you've got the Norwood Lateral, you've got 275, you've got Ronald Reagan, you've got different ways to get around. In northern Kentucky, it isn't as easy.
It's dangerous, too. If you're somebody from out of town trying to direct your way on there, you're either trying to look at the ground in front of you where the things are painted or up in between the pillar, the steel beams where the signs are. They're like tucked in there. They're hidden. The bridge is dangerous.
Let me tell you something, folks. Last night, I'm reading the good old newspaper and in USA Today section where they have this little blurb about each state. True story. True story. I saw where in Kentucky that Kentucky's getting like $1 million federal grant, and 30 different counties are going to get some money for trails, walking trails.
Ugh.
$1 million
walking trails, and we need a
federal
bridge.
money. We're spending federal money on walking trails. We got to have federal money for walking trails.
Aren't there Boy Scouts?
Isn't that messed up? That's how bad our country is screwed up. It's ridiculous. God, I get fired up about it. Toll. There's no way. I mean, I come over here every morning. I can't imagine the jam of trying to freaking run through a toll.
Well, I mean, they would have the pre-pass thing.
I don't care.
And so you would just a normal person that lives here is just going to be able to go through it without having to stop. But at the same time, if you don't want to buy the pre-pass thing every year, then yeah, you would have to stop. And it's just more money out of your pocket.
That's the other thing, too. They wanted to raise money from private donations to help build the bridge, too, and get it kick-started. I'm thinking to myself, what?
Who would donate
Raise
to that?
money? Somebody dumb would
right. Who
donate
would just give up their money for a bridge?
For everybody's going to use.
I mean, unless your name's going to be attached to it or something, maybe I could see you pumping some money, but...
Well, I oppose this concept of a toll bridge, and I stand with Terry Donahue and Bernie Kunkel and others that stand with me. I'm with the good guys on this one. By the way,
I think you people from Kentucky should have to pay for it.
You people?
I don't know. I guess, lobbyists have freedom of speech and everything else, but there's just something that rubs me the wrong way about lobbyists.
Well, I tried to reach a bridge inspector just to kind of get his opinion. It's an old neighbor of mine. I just tried to call him to see. So maybe he'll call in and give us his opinion. Are you that
desperate that now you're calling just old neighbor bridge inspector friends?
He is the major bridge inspector.
Anybody you can get your hands on.
Yes, that's
literally.
it.
Anybody can inspect
married,
a
he's
bridge.
Got the kids.
Anybody can inspect a bridge. You just look at it. Okay, that looks good.
Yeah.
Well,
you just
Is there any cracks?
That's officially his job title. What do you want me to say?
Bridge inspector.
That to me is just ridiculous to think that.
You know what? With all this bridge toll tax, it makes me want to just move to California.
Really, just California?
Yeah, hang out on the beach with California girls.
Okay.
Can't wait.
That's what I just feel like doing.
I'm sure Mary would love that.
I feel well, she'd go with me.
And hang out with California girls? Really?
Well, she could look at the bodybuilders on Venice Beach.
Well, good for her.
Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Just want to encourage everybody, if you've got something witty and wise idea that you'd like to say, you can text me at 859-250-2527, or you can email me at eric@ericdeters.com. And if you have a legal matter and you want some information about my legal services, you can check out ericdeters.com. I was thinking about Petraeus, Broadwell, Kelly, and Allen. Sounds a little bit like a law firm, but it's not really a law firm. It's a mess. And did you hear about this FBI agent? It cracks me up. The FBI agent who Kelly was worried about these threatening phone calls sends to her pictures of him with his shirt off trying to impress her. So they had to remove the agent. How messed up is this? Let's get this. The CIA chief is having a fling with his biographer who's got access to his emails, and it's going on for a whole year. Then she starts threatening Jill Kelly getting too close to Petraeus. Which is stupid. Jill Kelly's so stupid, she tells the FBI agent on it acts inappropriately. Then we find out Kelly, who tells the FBI, well, she basically throws General Allen under the bus because, she didn't think she'd find out about General Allen having a fling with her. What a nightmare. Meanwhile, Hillary's drinking wine in Australia, and Barack Obama's going to have a press conference at 1:30 today and tell all of us, I had no idea what the hell was going on. Oh, get this. So you all know the hierarchy. FBI works under Attorney General. So the Attorney General doesn't tell the President of the United States, hey, your head of your CIA is being investigated by us. Jeez, old Pete.
We got a little Jill Kelly 911 call.
Let's do it, baby.
I don't know if by any chance, because I'm an honorary consulate general, so I have inviolability. So they should not be able to cross my property. I don't know if you want to get diplomatic protection involved as well. But now they possess against the law to cross my property since this is now it's inviolable.
All right, no problem. I'll let the officers know.
Thank you.
What the hell did you just say, Miss Kelly?
Yeah, it sounds like she just thinks she's more important than she is.
Sounds like she's a name dropper, too. I'm an honorary consulate.
Right.
Guess what, Miss Kelly? I'm a Kentucky colonel.
Yep, just chicks trying to get famous.
Man, oh, man, oh, man.
Denise.
Are you just trying to get famous? Why are you shaking your head?
Because it's a joke. The whole thing is a joke.
It is, isn't it?
It is. It's ridiculous.
It's sick
the head of the CIA. My God. And you know what? There's still some people that are still defending Betrayus. What? What a jackwagon.
I want to ask you something about this. Was
Go ahead, Jake.
Eisenhower,
Ask me.
did he have a mistress during World War II?
Apparently he did. He when he was over in London all those years,
right.
Mamie wasn't very happy about his assistant.
Right, okay.
And FDR had an assistant.
Okay.
And John Kennedy had an assistant.
Yeah.
And even George Bush 1 allegedly had an assistant. And allegedly Nancy Reagan let Frank Sinatra in through the back door at the White House.
Hey, Bill, and how was your assistant?
She was really good. She liked cigars, but she didn't smoke them. little cigar humor there.
She's like a pipe.
People have always asked me about, Monica, because she's a little heavy. People say, God, Bill,
girl.
You're the president of the United States. You can have anybody. You have supermodel. Let me tell you something. She's heavy. But I tell you right now how she knew she's doing. She's young. I like that. Hillary's old, fat, ugly.
Boy, Hill without makeup is...
Thanks for your input, Bill. It's nice to have you in the studio.
What
I'm looking over here, not over there.
Just to tell you what that 911 call, she was claiming someone was in her yard, and she referenced her unpaid liaison role at MacDill Air Force. Now get this. Here's what she actually said in that bit we just played. I don't know if by any chance, because I'm an honorary consul general, what the hell is that? So I have inviolability. What? So they should not be able to cross my property. I don't know if you want to get diplomatic protection involved as well. What the freaking hell? Somebody's in your yard. That sums up someone's personality.
Yeah.
Right there.
Think she's...
jackwagon up Jill Kelly.
Think she's more important than she actually is.
Jackwagon?
Reminds me of a few months ago when the Cincinnati city official got punched downtown. Do you remember hearing about that? Yeah. And his 911 call was released, and he's like, "I'm a city official, and I got punched, but I'm a city official."
Kept saying over and over again, "I'm a city council member. I'm a city council."
I don't know. I was punched. I'm bleeding. I'm a city council. He just kept saying it. You're embarrassing yourself, man.
Let me come save me.
If I were the dispatch, I said, you know what? Don't live in that crap hole over the Rhine.
I have never, ever gotten pulled over by a ticket or something. So, do you know who I am? Because they're going to say, who gives a damn who the hell you are? If they recognize and they like you, they're going to give you a break anyway.
Yeah. I was going to say, I bet you've been pulled and recognized by cops, all the time. But you don't sit... do you know who I am? That happened to me
If you say that, you're not going to get a break. If they recognize you and they like you, they'll give you a break. You don't have to say anything.
Well, it's just so cocky anyway. To
does.
Do it.
I
got to ask you a question, Jake. We've been talking about these young men attracted to older women. Jill Kelly.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I think so. She's the one who did the interview or the press release and all that.
Absolutely.
I say she's attractive.
I don't think so.
You think Obama's got a little side beef?
Too. Obama?
Yeah.
I have diplomatic immunity, Mr. Sablehouse. And I'm not going to answer that question. But if you were married to Michelle, what do you think you would do living with that? All right.
I'd have a little side beef.
The General
road ass.
A little
How about this? General Petraeus flew to Libya to conduct his quote-unquote own investigation and the attack. There's enough of that ass to go around. Attack was looking forward to testifying. Friends say he now thinks it is a bad idea because the acting CIA director has the information he collected, plus updated information that would be a media circus. You know what? I say, General Petraeus, you better testify They ought to throw a subpoena at old little Hillary Clinton, too. Hillary's 2016 campaign might be going down the drain.
Hell.
So who's up there working on the 100,000 people or all the people that are still out of power? Is anybody messing with that, or is everybody focused now on the scandal?
Will you just do traffic? We're on Petraeus, and you bring up Hurricane Sandy. I'm not done with Petraeus.
Unbelievable.
Jeez, old Pete.
I'm talking about Hillary being the country on a licensing thing. You were just talking about butts.
I'm not even close to being done with Petraeus.
You were talking about
Go ahead and do a
butts.
traffic report.
No.
And know your role on the show.
No, there's nothing.
All right, good. All right. Senator Dianne Feinstein, who's on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, says she thinks that he's a responsible person and he thinks she will come today and blah, 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 blah. A senior defense official claims thousands of emails between General Petraeus and Jill Kelly were of, this is John Allen, flirtatious nature. They said it was like sex by email. Sex by email.
Wow.
He said,
yeah, he's hot.
Honey, I'm over here in Afghanistan looking at a bunch of rocks. Can you do some help for me? She said, sure. I'll give you some immunity. Jill Kelly style. You know what I think I need? I think I need to be sedated. I really do think I just
Some
need
days
to be,
I think so.
I just think I need to be sedated. Class X Radio. It's the Ramones. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio. We're continuing a little bit more in the discussion of the Petraeus scandal. Tomorrow on Thursday, the acting director of the CIA will be there to testify about Benghazi. Jay Carney said yesterday in his news conference, his first one since this broke, I can tell you that the president thinks very highly of General Allen and his service to the country, as well as the job as he done in Afghanistan. By the way, the reports are, while General Allen is running our quote-unquote war in Afghanistan, he and Miss Kelly are exchanging 41 pages of emails a day. Good God.
41 pages of emails?
A day. Now, some
Just
of those
personal emails.
That's correct. He must have had some chaffing going on with 41 pages of emails. You just stop me when you ever get a cut there, big guy, Jay. Garrett. You got a cut from that?
I don't think so.
All
Which
right.
one? Yeah,
I was just saying when you do. Paula Broadwell's 1995 West Point yearbook slogan listed her slogan as work hard, play harder. Mm-hmm. She was in Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I always crack up that people think that somebody's a little Christian, but that means they don't get horny.
Fellowship of Banging Christian Athletes.
All right, now if you want to talk about something else, we're done beating up Petraeus.
Are you sure you are?
Yeah, you want to talk about Hurricane Sandy now, did you say?
No, I just wondered where, everything is shifted off of it. These people are still up there in the cold, no food, and make fun of me. Go ahead, Garrett.
Well, what have you done? Have you driven up a truckload of full?
Schlepping cases of water up there?
Last weekend, Mike Zimmerman, Jay Garrett, and I drove a pickup truck loaded with food and supplies all the way to Jersey and New York.
While you were getting slaughtered.
While you were going to the Bengals game getting drunk.
Okay.
Thanks for the help, Denise.
You got a traffic report?
Easy Monday morning quarterback.
It's right now, if you're heading in northbound 71, 75, that traffic's just, it's starting to slow down. Just your normal slow spots out there on 74. If you're heading in right around North Bend and the merge is there, 75 at the Ronald Reagan merge and 275 at the merge. So no accidents. That's it.
None, baby,
none.
none.
No, compared to yesterday, we had a ton yesterday.
Moving to Chicago, Rom Godfather, I'll send you a dead fish if you mess with me and stick a knife in your hand, Emmanuel, is under fire after his press office allegedly kept private recordings of calls with reporters without their consent. Sad news, 3 people on a Piper PA-32 single-engine aircraft were killed when the plane crashed into a Jackson, Mississippi home. By the way, I just can't get, people go up in those little airplanes like Mike Zimmerman does. I'd be a nervous wreck. Scared the hell. Unless it was a cluster. Here's the only way I would do it. Crystal clear, blue day, blue sky, no weather, no clouds, and it's daytime. Then I'd say maybe.
Then you would do it. Okay.
Or if Zim was driving, I'd go up there. I trust the big Zim.
Yeah, I trust Zim too.
In a hailstorm.
You know what? You could run out of gas. Zim could get you on the ground safe.
I think so.
Speaking of the storm before, 122 people across the east have been killed by the storm. More lives than Hurricane Andrew. People, one time they thought it was like 40, 50. It's 122 people have died.
Wow.
It's sad. New York Mayor Andrew Cuomo created a high-level Moorland Commission to investigate utilities across New York. All right, I'm going to go ahead and make this campaign promise. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, when I am elected constable of Southern Kenton County or governor of Kentucky or president of the United States in 2016, I promise you, the American people, I will have no czars, and I will not name a single damn committee or commission about anything. Me and my people will just do our jobs. I mean, you mean to tell me there isn't someone in New York not responsible for making sure the utilities do their job? No, I'm going to appoint a commission, and we're going to call it Moorland. Good. Isn't that the most ridiculous thing? They always want to appoint a committee.
That's all they do.
Got to appoint a commission to solve these problems.
You'd have your boots on the ground, helping out.
Man, I would. You're darn right I would. Mm-hmm. Leadership, man. Where do you find leadership these days? The murky issues and facts arising from the Petraeus and Allen investigations must be pursued quickly, according to the New York Times. At the same time, the Pentagon should make clear that its rules on misconduct apply to all serving personnel, regardless of rank or general. Isn't that amazing? The New York Times wants to make it an issue of gender fairness and rank fairness and everything else. Jeez. And by the way, how about the dad? The dad saying this is much more than what meets the eye. Come on, give us the juice, Dad. Give us the juice.
The dad, how old is she?
Who, Broadwell?
Yeah.
I think she's 40. By the way, here's the age difference. Petraeus is 60, the wrinkled raisin, and she's 40. Younger women.
Jeez. Probably about Dad's age.
You know what Tom T. Hall said in that song? I love that song. Younger women, faster horses, and more money. We got Tom T. It won't be in there. Tom T. Hall
probably
won't be
not
in the system. There's no way. We ought to have it because that's a great song. Maureen Dowd said, the scandal's a good reminder that although John McCain and Sarah Palin urged total trust and blank checks for the general, these guys are human beings working under extremely stressful circumstances, and their judgments are not beyond reproach. What are you trying to say, Maureen? Excuses, excuses, excuses. The scandal engulfing two of our top military and intelligence officers, this is from the Obama scandal, could not be coming at a worse time. The Middle East has never been more unstable and closer to multiple interconnected explosions. By the way, it is fodder for our enemies. Our CIA chief. Jeez, oh Pete. By the way, another development is, and I just can't imagine there not being, that there's going to be some prosecutions. I can't fathom that Petraeus and Broadwell and Allen and Kelly didn't break some kind of law. With all of the stuff going on, I just can't fathom it.
Some type of security law. I mean, it's just...
Can you believe it? The general running the war in Afghanistan and our top official in the CIA caught up in this mess.
How'd they have time to do it if they're supposed to be running a war?
Very good question.
How do you have time?
Then again, though, speaking as a man, it's amazing how we find time for stuff no matter what.
I guess where there's a will, there's a way, so maybe that's what it was.
You know this, Denise. You're a woman. Men suck.
Yeah, well, I won't go there.
But I
won't drag you down.
I agree. General Allen, 40 pages of emails, come on.
Well, I mean, think about it then. Where's he doing his job? I mean, you have to have downtime, but...
Hey, speaking of generals, Leon Panetta demoted the former head of U.S. Africa Command for spending thousands of dollars on lavish travel and unauthorized expenses. General William Kip, don't you think the name Kip Ward, was stripped of his 4-star, which means he will now retire as a 3-star lieutenant general. Scandals by our generals. Who
was paying her to fly around and write this book for him? I mean, who was paying for all her expenses to go wherever she went?
Hey, let's focus on the name of the book. You know what the name of the book was, don't you? All in.
What?
All in.
All in. General. All in.
Oh, God.
In too deep.
All in.
Should have been called.
That's the name of the biography. Is that hilarious? All in.
All in.
And you watch these interviews that she had with Jon Stewart and everybody else. They're kind of funny to watch now.
Yeah, Jon Stewart was kind of
comments.
ripping on himself.
Yeah.
For his interview. Yeah.
Needs to be called All Done now. So.
Yeah. Wow.
That's unbelievable.
How about this? Papa John's, which, by the way, is not snappy tomato pizza, could be forced to pay $250 million in damages to 500,000 cell phone users who received unsolicited text messages advertising their pizza products, a violation of state and federal law. Wow.
Text
Snappy
messages?
Tomato Pizza would never do that.
A text message?
Yeah, unsolicited text messages like that is apparently against the law. Wisconsin, 9 Republican state lawmakers, they will back a bill to arrest any federal employee who would attempt to implement the unconstitutional health scheme Obamacare in their state. Folks, let me tell you something. Obamacare is going to be a disaster. I mean a disaster. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a disaster. All right. Did we do a traffic report this time?
Yes, we did earlier.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the American jury. I had a conversation yesterday with Peter Bronson from Cincinnati Magazine, who's doing a story about Nicole Howe's case. And I just want to tell you this. I represented 3 teachers that were involved in these type of things. A teacher from Virginia, not guilty. A teacher from Dayton High School, Nicole Howe, not guilty. Sarah Jones, she walks. Everybody else goes to jail, but my clients. So, to honor all hot teachers everywhere who just can't control their hormones, we give you Van Halen for all you hot teachers on Class X Radio. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Class X Radio, where if you tune in every morning from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., you will hear radio superbity with one witty and wise comment after the other. As we sit here in our studio in downtown Cincinnati, we are inspired by the posters around us, including the latest edition, Farrah Fawcett's famous burnt orange swimsuit poster.
The latest edition is Bill Clinton.
That's right. Bill Clinton was brought in today.
Just happens to be that Farrah's picture.
And Bill sits right next to Denise. Hey,
yeah.
Denise, you mind if I touch your leg there?
And if he keeps it up, he's going to get smacked.
Oh my God.
Cardboard or not.
I wonder. I've never been smacked as a cardboard. That sounds cool. Smack me, Denise. Come on, smack me.
I've never been smacked.
Hillary would never do such a thing.
We can hit him over the head with a pin.
Gosh, I can't wait till Hillary. I told Hillary, hey, while you're over in Australia drinking that wine, why don't you just stay there? I got it covered back here.
Somebody's got it covered. Yeah.
Besides that, Barack Obama owes me. I can do anything. He even said I could send up Michelle if I wanted. Traffic report, please.
Wow, just looking around at the cameras around the tri-state, northbound 71, 75, you're slow from Buttermilk to the bridge. Pretty normal looking there. Southbound 71, slow around the Pfeiffer merge and around down to Ronald Reagan, I should say. Southbound 75, you're slow there from Cincy Dayton to 275, then again around the Ronald Reagan merge as well. So just your normal slow spots. No accidents reported, so that's at least good news. Cold.
Very good.
I had to scrape my windshield. Garrett had to scrape his. You didn't have to do that.
Terrific traffic report, Denise.
Let's give her
Thank you, Garrett.
Oracle
Thank
status.
you, Garrett.
Let's give her Oracle status for that traffic.
You've deserved this.
You've been awarded
Do I?
Oracle
It's been a long
Why,
time
thank
coming.
you.
You deserve
Thank
that
you.
Oracle
Yesterday
status.
I worked much harder.
You know, I get a lot of emails and text messages saying that people think you're a pretty good sport, that Garrett and I pick on you a lot, and that you do a really good job putting up with it. I disagree. I think you do a lousy job putting up with us. I just want you to know that.
I know. That's just because they can't see me hit you.
Joke.
They can't see me hit you when we're off the air.
Garrett, let's take advantage of Jake's hard work and share with the ladies and gentlemen of the American jury a few clips that might be of interest. Let's do Pat Robertson, who is a holy man, a man of the cloth.
This is he's a lieutenant colonel.
He is.
She is an extremely good-looking woman. She is a marathon runner. She'd run Ironman triathlons, and so she's running with him, and she's writing a biography. And I think the term is propinquity.
What?
There was a lot of propinquity going on.
Propinquity?
I think a lot is the word we want to focus on.
And, well, I mean, who knows? I mean, the man's off in a foreign land, and he's lonely, and here's a good-looking lady throwing herself at him. I mean, it's he's a man, so.
I bet you that makes all you ladies feel comfortable there.
Yeah.
I can tell you this relative to what he just said there. They started their fling in September of 2011. So just think about all the time this is going on. Nobody knew. BS, man.
Okay, what's propinquity?
I'm looking that up now.
I was going to say.
I don't
Merriam-Webster.
need to look that up.
Good.
Interaction and attention. All right, now we got the Daily Show. Jon Stewart interviewed Mrs. Broadwell. I wonder if Larry Flint's going to offer Broadwell money.
Jake, is this a 60-second thing?
I wonder if she's got tape. I wonder if she's got tapes of the governor. By the way, you know what my wife said when she saw the Petraeus? She goes, "Good God!"
I know, really, and he's 20 years older than her.
My wife's reaction was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
Okay.
I did the same thing.
She told me how lucky she felt to be married to a hunky guy like me, as opposed to an ugly general.
Propinquity, nearness of blood, kinship. Nearness in place or time.
See, I told you. I nailed that right, baby. That's right. I didn't need to look it up. Will you play Jon Stewart?
He loves serving. He loves to be in the arena. Crushed his pelvis and was back in the swimming pool. He also
is Broadwell
came at it from a mentoring point of view and wanted to help me with this project. He can turn water into bottled water.
The whole thing was like innuendo after innuendo, and the whole time I'm like, nah.
Stewart's talking about how he missed it.
Right there, talking about how thick a coat of awesome sauce Petraeus is bathed in. The thing never crossed my mind. And there is a certain patronizing feeling of like, oh God, now all right, so we got to talk to Latinos and black people now.
You can't show up in October of an election year and say, oh, by the way, we wanted to come by and say hello, and we'd sure like for you to vote for us.
You narrowed your works to two things, pro-life or anti-gay marriage.
Not anti-gay marriage. There's a difference between anti-something and if you're for something.
What are you for?
I'm for the idea that marriage is that which is a biblical model.
The biblical model.
Now you can kill that. I want to tell you right now, Jesse Waters on Bill O'Reilly went and interviewed some Bill Maher folks, and you talk about some nitwits. Some young girl goes, well, Obamacare's bringing health insurance down. He goes, are you serious? And Jesse Waters, after doing these interviews, concluded, just like we all concluded, based upon Obamacare and gay marriage and abortion on demand, it doesn't matter what the hell Obama does. That group is going to vote for him no matter what.
No matter what. Yeah.
All right, and then we have Baba Wawa.
I'm Baba
Wawa and Hasselback clashing over Petraeus. Baba.
There's no evidence of a security breach.
How do you know that?
Did I say he's been married for 37 years? I did say that.
It's sad, and I also think, too, it's... You know, there's a ton of conspiracy theories out there right now. One is that this is a Benghazi cover-up, that they didn't want Petraeus to testify. I'm just saying what's out there, okay? So that's out there. But here's what, is the timing fishy? Sure. And look, is it...
I don't think it's fishy.
But you know what, regardless, we don't know if this is... We don't have all the details. What we do know, and in fact that I feel most sad about, is that on the weekend of Veterans Day, this is ironically what we're talking about. A man who served our nation in a way probably none of us ever could have, possibly a fall from grace, but now we're not talking about the veterans in this country that need us most, and that's what we should be doing.
Well,
so
we
today,
can do that as well.
go to our website. I'm going to show you how to do it, and there's a way to reach out to them.
Of course we should.
Yeah.
One thing has nothing to do with
I know, but I mean, you can't talk about two things at the same time.
Except
this is
for the
something
possible security breach. I really think that we should get off these guys' backs who are having...
Do you think they would do this if George Bush's or Ronald Reagan's national or CIA guy was involved in this? Hell no. Double standard winches. Jack Wagon up The View.
The View, except for Elizabeth, because she's hot and she's a Republican. So
yeah, we like
Jack Wagon.
For the rest of them.
I got a great quote from Jason, Bulldog Nation member Jason Monday on Facebook.
Jason.
Relative to Petraeus. No, not that Jason. This is Jason Monday as opposed to Jason Tuesday. Truth will come to light. Murder cannot be hid long. A man's son may, but at the length, truth will out. That's for the Merchant of Venice.
Yeah, that's a great
good stuff, man.
Oh, that's good.
All right, let's have a little
Garrett
bit of
got
fun.
into that one.
The political brief of the day. Preceding the John Edwards scandal by more than a full century, Arthur Brown was a trailblazer. Oh, maybe we don't have time. We got a song. We come back, I'm going to share this great story with you. Until then, Blue Oyster Cult. Don't fear the Reaper on Class X Radio. Denise, or anything else you want to talk about?
Well, there's all kinds of things we could talk about. Okay, southbound 71, there's an accident. The left lane is blocked, and that's right around 275. That has you backed up. You're slow from around Fields. Erdel heading in that southbound direction on 71. Also an accident, Warsaw at Grand. You need to watch for that. And then just your normal slow spot, 71, 75. You're still slow from Buttermilk to the bridge. About 28 minutes, maybe a little bit further back, right around 275. You're hitting your brakes there. Southbound 71, you're slow from 275, pretty much on down. And again, you have that accident there. Southbound 75, Cincinnati-Dayton Road, continuing on down to 275, then around the Ronald Reagan merge. But just watch for that accident blocking the left lane on 71.
All righty.
How's that?
Thank you very much. Bobby Jindal to the GOP says, stop being stupid. According to Politico, it is no secret we had a number of Republicans damage our brand this year with offensive, bizarre comments. Enough of that. It's not going to be the last time anyone says something stupid within our party, but it cannot be tolerated within our party. Well, you know what, Jindal? I agree with you, but guess what? It's always going to happen. You're going to have gaffes. You just can't elect jackwagons or nominate jackwagons. Barack Obama says he will not extend Bush tax cuts for high-income earners, saying, I am not going to budge. I said it in 2010 that I'm not going to do this once, and I meant it. Well, we'll see if Obama really wants to destroy America. Rumor has it, as the old Doc Holliday said, rumor has it, that their deal that's going to go down between the Dems and the Republicans and Obama is Romney's idea, which basically you put a hard cap on deductions, and it's actually a bigger tax increase on the rich than a rate increase, and everybody will be happy, and they can say we did this bipartisan so nobody can shoot at the others. That's the Ruba. By the way, you guys got to remind me. Oh, by the way, Jake, we need to have You're an Oak from Doc Holliday. But on Friday, we're going to have a Tombstone special throughout the show for 3 hours. We're just going to randomly throw in the best of Tombstone quotes by Doc Holliday, White Earp and Company. We got a lot of them. We're going to have a blast. New Jersey tax hike. Governor Chris Christie says property tax hikes may be coming in towns damaged by Hurricane Sandy. He said storm cleanup costs not attributed to FEMA will likely be passed to the taxpayers. Isn't that wonderful? People lose their homes. Yeah, we're going to raise your taxes. Raise those taxes. Texas Governor Rick Perry, those 76,000 have signed a White House petition for Texas to secede. Barry said he shares the frustrations, but believes in the greatness. You know, let me tell you why I haven't commented on all this.
This is ridiculous.
And this was on Hannity. Everybody's covering it for dramatic effect. It's not going to happen, and it's a big waste of time. And we all know everybody's frustrated. The only time I would support states becoming their own little countries is if America finally goes off the deep end and becomes the federal government really is a complete disaster, where states say, the hell with you. I would support it then. Would that be wild? 50 little countries. We're the country of Kentucky or country of Ohio. Nancy Pelosi, from her recent remarks to the press, it appears the representative might step down from her leadership role. Yeah, because the majority said get the hell out of the way. And remember, Barack Obama is having today at 1:30, which means, and by the way, that's another thing he does. Always late. He'll be there at 2. But at 1:30, he's having a press conference. Paul Ryan on ABC News said, I don't think so, relative to the mandate to raise taxes, because they also reelected the House Republicans. So whether people intend it or not, we've got divided government. This is a very, let me tell you about the election once again. It was all about all those people that think Obama's the second coming, all those constituencies coming out in force to reelect Barack Obama, period. It wasn't a policy statement. It wasn't a one party doing something better than the other party. It was the people coming out who black, Hispanics, liberal, gay, women, liberal groups,
pot smokers,
on and on and on.
We got a clip here of Paul Ryan talking about the failed election.
All right.
Would you like it?
How much of a shock was it?
Well, you know, we thought we had a really good chance of winning. You know, the polling and the data and all the people who are the smart people who watch this stuff, they had a pretty optimistic view on the night. And so going into Boston that day, we felt like we had a pretty darn good chance of winning. So as you can imagine, it was a bit of a shock when we didn't win.
You were the running mate, but was that the campaign Paul Ryan would have run?
Oh, gosh. You know, I think when you join a ticket 3 months out, you join somebody's campaign. I was really impressed with the way Mitt and Ann brought us into the fold. So I was very encouraged by that. I really enjoyed it. And I wanted to run a big campaign on ideas. We did that. We ran on ideas.
He kind of ducked it a little bit. Beginning his negotiations Friday, Obama will ask Congress to create a $1.6 trillion in new tax revenues over the next 2 years. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, our national budget was ran, total budget needs, in 2008 of $2.4 trillion, I think, okay? We're up to $3 trillion and counting, and he wants to expand government again. Barack Obama, if he has his way, will double the size of government spending from when he took office on a yearly basis. My God. You know, when you really think about it, it makes you sick. It makes you sick. Now get this. Who will you blame if the U.S. goes over the fiscal cliff? 53% Republicans. 29% Obama.
What?
It's insanity. It just doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter what the facts are. It doesn't matter what the truth is. All the jackwagons, dumbasses, uninformed in the country are joined by the liberal media and the Barack Obama administration, and it's like they can do whatever the hell they want. No accountability at all. None. Do whatever the hell you want. Fast and Furious, who cares? Benghazi, who cares? Ambassador dies. Cut all the military, who cares? Petraeus out there boinking Miss Broadwell, who cares? It doesn't matter anymore what the hell goes on in this country. Zippo. We've lost all sense of right, wrong, and economic soundness. It's gone. Crazy. By the way, we'll play this song now for our guest yesterday, the love doctor who treats sex addicts, Robert Palmer, Addicted to Love on Class X Radio. I'm going nuts. It's the Bulldog on Class X Radio. Denise, is there anything going out there in traffic land?
Well, we do have some issues out around the tri-state. There's an accident with injuries, and this was a newer accident, just happened around 7:30 South Miami at Cleves. You need to watch for that if you're in that area. Still dealing with an accident southbound 71. They're reporting that is blocking the left lane. That is between Western Road and 275. So in that area, the cameras, there's no camera in that area, so you really can't watch. But the traffic is reported to be slow, again, blocking the left lane. So stay right if you're traveling through there. And then Martin Luther King at Victory and Warsaw at Grand. The rest of the traffic, you've got those typical slow spots. Southbound 71, again, with that accident, then you're off and on slow from around Pfeiffer on down to the Kenwood cut. 71, 75 still slow from Buttermilk to the bridge. Typical stuff there. But the rest, those are the accidents. So only one big problem on the interstate.
Incredible. Listen to this story. Here's our history for the day. When Utah gained statehood in 1896, Arthur Brown became one of the state's first two senators, serving until March of 1897, a year. By the time of his ascension into the Senate, Brown, 52, was already on his second wife and was in the first stages of building a romance with Salt Lake City socialite Ann Bradley, 23. 27 years or younger. Bradley would later explain by 1898, when she was no longer living with her husband Clarence, she finally succumbed to Brown's advances. Quote, finally he began coming to my house at very unseemly hours, and I told him it must stop, but he answered, darling, we will go through life together. I want you to have a son, and after several months we did. Boy, she really resisted. Things didn't really work out for the star-crossed lovers. When Brown's wife caught wind of the affair, after he tried to serve with divorce papers, she hired a private investigator to follow her husband. And back then, you didn't get caught embarrassed on the page of the National Enquirer when you were caught committing adultery. You got thrown in jail, which is exactly what happened to Brown and Bradley in 1902 and 1903. The whole thing culminated in an all-night fight in 1903. From Utah history, the illicit affair continued with all parties involved in a dramatic confrontation in a Pocatello, Idaho hotel where Isabel Brown threatened to kill Bradley. That's the wife attempting to kill the lover. Intimidated Arthur, her husband, by ordering him to open the door to his hotel room or she would mash it in. The former senator did. The combatants spent the night accusing each other of all sorts of indiscretions, and Brown gave Bradley a revolver as protection against his wife. After the big fight, Isabel's condition deteriorated rapidly, and she succumbed to cancer in 1905. You would think this would be a prime opportunity for Arthur and Ann to set a date for the wedding. Ann did. But whenever she tried to pin old Arthur down, he'd make up some excuse. So by 1906, now raising two of Arthur's children, Isabel took matters into her own hands. She showed up to confront the former senator in a D.C. hotel room December 6, 2006, because she was tired of his crap. That's the night she shot and killed Arthur Brown. And as far as she was concerned, justice had been served. Ann pleaded temporary insanity at her trial and got off scot-free.
Wow.
That's a great, they ought to make a movie about that.
Aren't there movies like that all the time? I mean.
By the way, I am thoroughly depressed.
Why is that?
The state of our country's affairs. I mean, we have hell in a handbasket. I mean, the laundry list of reasons why we shouldn't have elected Barack Obama made no difference with those people that voted for him. It doesn't matter anymore. And then you get the whole, how should I say it, the entire media, just whatever. The unions meet with Barack Obama. They want their payback. And do you know what the budget deficit is for October, folks? For October. We are going to have $1 trillion deficit again. Budget deficit. In October, we spent $120 billion more than what we took in. $120 billion more than what we took in. Nobody gives a damn. So to cheer myself up, because I'm just completely depressed, let's play a Saturday Night Live skit, which is very funny.
Okay, well, we need that.
And it kind of ties into our song that we played before. And since I'm so depressed, cheer us up. This is the Bulldog, Eric Deters on Class X Radio. Hope you enjoyed that little SNL there, baby.
Who couldn't love
We have a musical little treasure for you, too, that we're going to play right after the traffic report.
Oh, you make it sound so terrible.
Give us a traffic report.
At least you're not out driving in it.
Right.
Hey, it's a lot better day than it was yesterday, dealing with a couple of accidents. One of those, let's see, South Miami Avenue at Cleves. You need to watch for that. That has injuries. That could take a little longer to clear. That happened around 7:30. Martin Luther King at Victory and Warsaw at Grand. There was an earlier accident on 71 blocking the left lane. They've cleared that out of the way, so things are looking a little bit better there for you. Still slow in all of your typical spots, 71, 75, 275 on down to the bridge. Also 275 heading westbound around Ward's Corner, continuing north. You've got that same traffic. And at all the merges, Ronald Reagan merge on 75 and on 71. So just your typical morning commute out there. But those are the accidents anyway that are slowing you down.
All right. Remember that little incident where Barack Obama leaned over and said to Medved, he goes, after the election, I'll have some more flexibility. Scary-ass stuff there, you know? Well, guess what? The White House is not confirmed, but apparently Putin has confirmed that Barack Obama has accepted an invitation to visit the Russian president. Unbelievable. You know, I tell you right now, you got to have some courage in life to fight battles that are lost causes. And I just think all of us that fight the battle of good old Barack Obama and all their liberalness and everything, we just got to fight the battle. Here's something that is so interesting as it relates to, you know, like the doctor shortages that are going across this country. With Obamacare, it's even going to get worse. Well, the Wall Street Journal's been following this issue. Guess who else has got a crisis? Pilots. You know, U.S. Airlines can't find enough pilots. Think about that. We don't have pilots. We don't have enough doctors. What the hell? We don't have any problems in this country. Unbelievable. In 2008, okay, we brought in $2.5 trillion and we spent $2.9 trillion. Are you ready for this, folks? In 2012, we brought in $2.4 trillion and we spent $3.5 trillion. You had another trillion of this thing. We've doubled how much government we have. Incredible. Do you have a guest on the line now?
You know what? We tried to catch him and we missed him, so we're waiting for him to call back.
All right. When we'll have him call back, but until then, let's play this song. I've been wanting to play this song for a long time because it's just funny. We're trying to cheer ourselves up from our country going to hell. This is a classic, and since we got a Johnny Cash poster in here, I don't think we've played a Johnny Cash song. We're going to play you some Cash right now. Why? Because we can. We're going to come back from this song. We'll have some more discussion on Class X Radio. All right. You know what? When you think about Johnny Cash, you think about an American icon, and you think about what he sung about. He went to Folsom Prison and did a concert live in Folsom Prison. He always spoke about the reason why he wore black was for the man that was in jail, that didn't belong in jail, the man that was down on his luck. That's why he wore black. He sang a great song about the tattered old flag and how great the flag is and what it stands for. That song right there, when he talks about a boy named Sue, and of course he was a bad dad and left his boy. But I love that. My favorite line in the whole movie, the whole song, is "You can thank me for the gravel in your guts and the spit in your eye." And when you look around this country these days, particularly from Washington, D.C., you have nothing but mamby-pamby wimp sacks. You have nothing but liberal spending, no callous on their hands, never worked a hard day in their lives. You got lawyers passing 60,000 regulations and writing 60,000 pages of regulations the last 90 days, and there's going to be more. And then the lawyers, you got to pay the corporate lawyers to interpret those rules for you. It's incredible. I feel like myself and others, you feel more and more like you're an oasis in a sea of crap. It's amazing. So if you can't stand what's going on in the country and you want 3 hours of relief, temporary relief, tune in to us every day where we'll give you Cash and Clint and John Wayne. Good music. What's good about America? That's what we stand for. We're not wimp sacks. We got gravel in our guts and spitting in our eye. Don't you, Denise?
I always do.
All right, folks. I'm going to be heading out of here. I got to go to court, and I'm going to turn it over in a couple minutes here to the gang. And I saved, those of you that listen to our show usually in the morning, we do pop culture and sports. For the next 45 minutes, they're going to cover pop culture, sports, and whatever. Can you guys?
You left the goods.
You guys
for
handle
us.
it?
I know.
I did. I
left the
goods.
stuff.
If you all can't have fun with pop culture and sports, I'm going to be ashamed of you.
We're gonna. That would be a serious problem that the Three Stooges in here couldn't have fun with that.
Jake and I can talk sports. We'll have to cut Denise's mic
off.
Oh,
come
on. Cut your mic off with that
no
sports
idea
thing.
about sports.
There was something crazy
That's not funny.
on pop culture front on the way in this morning. I heard something that was, what the heck was it? It was crazy on the pop. You know, like the day before yesterday was the Matthew McConaughey looking like an AIDS patient for that role.
The Hope Solo thing?
Oh, yeah, Hope Solo. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, they got in a fight over her and her fiance, a football player, got in a fight over where they're going to live after they're married.
You would think they might have gone over that at some point.
Yeah.
Well, they only got engaged. I think they only started dating at the end of the Olympics in like August. So they're engaged.
That's way too soon to get engaged.
Or maybe that's when they got engaged. Maybe they had been
dating longer.
I don't know, but.
Well, I know. I informed my daughter last night. We were joking around about Justin Bieber, and I said, "Oh, and he broke up." And she's like, "He did? They're not going out anymore." What's her name? Miley.
Selena Gomez.
Okay.
Does your daughter like Bieb?
No, but still, I mean, I guess if she did, she would have known that yesterday. I just thought it was funny because she didn't know. I'm like, how is it that I knew that and you didn't? But
all right, folks, stick around. We're gonna have pop culture and sports coming up on Class X Radio.
Garrett Sablehouse, Denise Johnson.
Yep. We took
Jake
over.
Schlegel.
It's the Three Stooges. We took over. The Bulldogs out of the house.
This could be a train wreck. Bulldog off to court.
He's in the car listening to us.
For important matters. At least he did leave us with the fun stuff to talk about.
I'm sure we could have come up with plenty. I have no shortage of words most of the time.
We'd be absolutely lost. Denise. If we were relying
You'd
on
be able to
you.
handle it. You'd be able to handle it.
Of course I would. I'm a professional in this business.
Well, we are going to cover pulp culture.
Pulp culture?
Pulp
culture. All right. Thanks, Denise. Jake, what?
Well, no, not here, because I want to talk to you guys about this diamonds. Have you guys ever even looked at diamonds? Have you ever gone shopping for a diamond, Garrett?
Absolutely not.
You bought diamonds before, Jake?
Yeah, I bought diamonds.
Where?
The diamond store.
The diamond store. Did you buy them like a bag of diamonds?
He mined them out of Africa.
Okay. So do you know anything about them, though? Seriously? I mean, I used to work at a jewelry store. I used to sell jewelry, so I find this kind of this value on this thing.
No, Denise, tell us something about diamonds.
Well, one of these days, I mean, obviously, no chick you guys will ever date will have one this big, but diamond auction went for 21. I mean, this diamond went on auction for $21.5 million. It was a 76.2.
What makes one diamond better than another?
Like the color, the cut, the clarity.
They're all clear.
The size matters to women. Yes, the size. What was that, Jake?
It does.
Yeah.
Yes, the size does matter.
Well, you said it.
It does. It does matter. But anyway, 76.2 carats, and this was an Archduke Joseph diamond. I have no idea what that was. But it was a world record per carat price for a colorless diamond, which means it has no color. There are diamonds that can be yellow, they can have different colors. But anyway, that was in Geneva, Switzerland, and the winning bidder is going to donate it to a museum. I'm wondering if it was a woman or a man, because if it was, I can't imagine a woman donating it, and if the man was married, I would think his wife would be a little upset. What do you think?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
David Letterman on the $21 million diamond. I believe it was purchased by General Petraeus for his wife.
He learned from Kobe.
I could see him on the pocket.
I don't know that he'd be donating it then. Oh my gosh. Well,
now, here's a good one. Bradley Cooper, an Esquire, admitted in an interview that he was arrested at age 15 for underage drinking.
Is that unusual,
I got some good
though?
underage drinking
I
stories.
mean, seriously, that's what I was going to say. I mean,
everybody. I wasn't arrested. I never got caught.
We always got busted, but they just took our beer and used it for fishing. You're the youngest. I mean, you guys are a lot.
I think now
you're from
they're trying to bust people. I don't think back in what it was, the 40s.
Yeah.
I don't think they cared too much back then.
Let's just try the 80s, the early 80s, late 70s. No, but I mean,
really?
I don't.
Of the
1800s.
1880s.
Watch it. I will ground you. You'll be grounded.
Yeah, I had a big party my senior year, and people, of course, brought over a bunch of booze. and we were just doing like a bonfire in my backyard, and everybody had booze. All of a sudden, the fire got too big, so somebody called the fire department and the cops or something. So I'm like looking up to the side of our house, up to the street, and I just see the outline lights of a giant, and I knew right away it was a fire truck. I'm like, oh, damn.
Booze and fire trucks.
It was like 70th. So the cops and the firemen or whatever come down, and the kids just, probably 70 or 80 kids in my like kind of tiny backyard, just scattered.
Spread out.
And
oh
the guys
my
were cracking up. People told me the next week at school, like, yeah, the cops were coming down, and they were just laughing so hard because they'd never seen that many kids just every direction into the woods. You know, half of them probably drunk, didn't know where they were going in these woods.
That's funny. And that was your graduation party?
No, it was like in January.
Oh, okay. I was going to say
middle of the winter.
Booze, Chicks, and Fire Trucks. What movie is that out of? Booze, Chicks, and Fire Trucks. Animal House? Oh, come on.
Yeah, sure,
I'm not that old.
Sure.
There's a line in it.
Yeah, what? Next. E-News.
Oh, about Kristen Stewart being
is that?
desperate? I mean, would you think she'd be desperate? I don't know. She says she's...
Good. What a hooker. I mean, geez. What do you expect?
Yeah.
She says she's desperate to get a job. She's itching to go back to work. I mean, she's
hope
been
she
in
never
all the
works
Twilight.
again.
Was she in the last Twilight? I didn't see it.
I don't know. I don't watch those movies, but apparently, yeah.
I know my daughter doesn't like them either. Do you like the Twilight movies? Did you watch those, Jake?
No, I did not.
I heard her and Robert Pattinson, the guy she cheated on, went to the premiere of the new one the other day together.
Just as fans?
No, I think together.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I've seen one of them. I think, but no, I wasn't watching. I think she's attractive.
She's attractive. Well, what's that have to do with her getting a job? I wouldn't think that would be too difficult. She's only 22. She'll get more jobs. Eventually, that's not an issue. Don't you think?
She's worried after the Twilight thing was huge.
How much money did she get from that?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Didn't that just end? Didn't one of the last movies just come out?
Yeah, I had no idea there was a new one that just came out, apparently.
Yeah, I think it came out last week.
That's how
it's either this week or last week.
Yeah.
Well, she's already ready to get back to work, so I don't know. I don't know how long it takes to edit something like that.
That much money,
have a job
man.
open here.
Yeah, you think you'll have a job open
she
here?
She can come work here.
Oh, okay.
Kristen, we got a traffic reporter. We're looking to go younger. We're looking to get younger at the position.
Yeah. Watch it, boys. Oh, there's this thing on here from Shannon Doherty. It's at a TMZ where the actress, I mean, she lives in L.A., of course, and most of them do, don't they? But she called in a New Jersey Police Department Sunday night after a Twitter fan threatened to kill herself, and Doherty was able to get the woman to reveal her address, and Doherty forwarded the information to the police, and I guess they saved her. Kept her from killing herself.
Well, all right, couple things. One, it's an attention grab. Especially, who knows how old this... It was a woman, it says. Don't know an age. But a lot of times it's just an attention grab. So they try to get a... So just the fact that Shannon Doherty... I don't even know who that is, by the way.
She's a dark-haired girl. I had to look her up myself.
Oh, she's the dark-haired girl.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, you know the celebrities, the older ones, dark hair. Then
Younger,
you know who it is.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So, but still... good for her for at least doing it because you never know. But that's just what they... Most of the time, I think in these attempted suicide, they just want the attention.
She's a young... Gary, you look her up. She's a young girl. She's your, like in your age category. She'd be another young, hot girl that you guys would want in here. Come on.
Hey, Shannon, we're actually looking for a new traffic reporter here. We're looking to get younger, so come on in.
Mm-hmm.
So she's hot, huh?
Well, she would be for you
That's
guys.
nice of her, though. At least she took some action and didn't just let it go.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna jump over here to Madonna. I mean, she was big in my day, huge, and she got on stage with chains and a gun. Okay. See, no, you don't think she's attractive, Shannon? No. Really? Turn it around there, show Garrett. Garrett will think so. I've seen some of the women he's been pointing out on TV. Anyway. Yeah, anybody? Oh, that was a bad picture. He's just pulling up bad pictures of her. Okay. Well, anyway, Madonna pulled out a chains and a gun and was licking them on stage when she did her New York City concert on Monday night.
Ooh, we should play some Madonna.
Do we have Madonna over there? That's not really what you consider rock.
Pop thing.
Right. But, I mean, she's always been just on the edge, tried to carry everything just a little on the edge and do something, I don't know. She was licking the chains and the gun.
she's trying to keep up with the Lady Gaga. Like,
yeah.
Her music day is done. Just go out and perform and wear your skimpy outfit. And
She's built pretty good for as old as she is, though.
yeah, but she's still old.
She's still old.
And she's not. I never have thought Madonna was. I love the music. Like a Prayer, Papa Don't Preach.
Yeah.
Classic
okay.
songs.
Well, anyway, she is donating the money, so at least there's something good coming out of it.
I mean, she licked a gun. There's not. I mean, nobody. It's just a.
She didn't wear a meat suit. In other words.
Yeah. Well, that was stupid too. A lot of the stuff they do, it's like, okay, whatever. We're going to talk about sports.
Is that what you want to jump into?
You know what? We got more. We got some more pop culture.
We do. I mean, I was looking down in here at Bono too. I mean, the U2 singer. He met with the Vice President Biden at the White House yesterday to discuss global developments. Now, this I think is kind of interesting because he puts AIDS and the efforts to fight poverty all in one thing. I mean, wouldn't you normally have one thing that you would fight for? I mean, if you were,
might as well tackle it all.
Yeah,
well, that's not all. That's only two.
We talked about that when I saw Paul McCartney in concert here.
Great American?
I guess it was 2 summers ago now.
Mm-hmm.
Not this past one, but the one before. We were talking about what sort of bands could sell out like a Great American Ballpark.
I think
like
U2 could.
I mean,
the Balls probably could.
Do you think Springsteen could?
I think he could.
Yeah,
he doesn't tour much.
Right.
He doesn't tour much.
Yeah.
If he comes around, if the tickets are priced right, that's another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get so many different levels, I think you could sell it out.
Well, you know this thing on
I didn't know
Elmo.
they had such a cult following.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a massive.
They've been around
Actually, it's
forever
not
too.
even a cult. Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to go to Elmo. Because I thought this was interesting that, well, I can't even try to cover it like that. But the guy that was accusing him now of a sexual relationship with him when he was 16 has reported to have settled for a 6-figure settlement. So, I mean, does that mean you're guilty, or does that mean you just want everything to just go away when you settle like that?
Yeah, I mean, your name is ruined.
This is where we need the dog.
I mean, has he been fired from?
I don't think so.
How do you fire? How can you be fired from being
people
Elmo?
who can do Elmo.
Well, he's the voice.
He's the voice and the puppeteer.
Oh, he does do the,
I mean,
the hand thing?
The question would be I mean, you want him around your kids, but does that mean that he's guilty if he's settled?
It's a kid's show, and it just brought on bad press.
Yeah.
I'm sure they can find somebody to do the voice, and anybody can work a puppet. But it probably just depends on if he was actually guilty or not. But I don't know. When you settle for 6 figures, something obviously went wrong. I wonder how much he makes. God, 6 figures.
Yeah. Well, and I'm kind of sitting here thinking, if you settle, I mean, to me, that's almost like, okay, I just want to avoid it. Let me just get it out of the way. But I mean, the damage is done. So if you weren't guilty, you would fight. At least that's the way I look at it. And as far as Dancing with the Stars go, oh my God, I'm so sick of. Do you ever watch any of that stuff?
No.
Obviously not. No. I mean, it's just, to me, it's like, oh, forget it. Not interested at all. So, we can go to a break here. Don't we have a break coming up? And then we can come back. Well, it's 8:29.
This is Jake's pick.
Jake picked it out.
The band Up on Cripple Creek. Jake, what do you know about this song? Other than it's good.
This is rocking. The band are awesome. Class X Radio.
Hey, you're listening to Class X Radio. The Bulldog is headed out to court, so Garrett and Jake and I, Denise, we're all holding the, I should say Blondie, shouldn't I? So, because I might even give you a little bit of a traffic report. That is my real name. I just changed it. Okay, I kind of like Blondie better, but anyway, still dealing with a couple of accidents out there. Westbound Mitchell at Kessler. We have an accident there. There was one reported on 7175 right around Buttermilk, blocking the right shoulder, so watch for that. Ludlow at Whitfield. And southbound 71 on the left shoulder around 275. So just a couple of problems. Traffic is light, though, and these guys are going to come back with a full traffic report. The dog's going to be, I'm sure he's probably listening since he's heading to court there this morning. I hope he didn't run into any traffic problems. You don't think he is? I bet he is.
I don't think so.
Okay. You guys are covering
sports time.
Sports.
College basketball. I was at the UC basketball game last night. My Bearcats are going to be studs. Mississippi Valley State dropped a hundo on them, 102-60. Dogs Wildcats. UK lost last night. I watched the first probably 3/4 about that, 3/4 of that game.
What do you think it's going to be like for Kentucky this year?
I don't think they don't have the team.
They're not going to be last year.
Last year, and Bulldog and I were talking about this earlier. Last year, they still had some seniors to mix in with the freshmen,
right?
But that was just kind of an anomaly. That was just a special team. They've got freshmen. They're talented. They'll get to the postseason. I mean, hell, they only lost to Duke by 7 points last night and hung with them the whole game. I mean, it was a game. But I just don't think with those freshmen, it takes a special team like last year's to win it all like they did. And it's too hard to do.
Right.
Duke is a veteran team, obviously really well coached. Seth Curry scored 23 points for Duke, the younger brother of
the other guy.
Yeah,
the other Curry
brother. The other brother?
Is it Stephen Curry, who's in the NBA
It might
now.
be Stephen, yeah.
I think he plays for Golden State.
So he played for, was it Carolina?
No, who did he play for? Because Seth used to play for a small team.
Indiana.
Davidson. I think it was Davidson.
Oh, okay.
It's a real small team. And he kind of put him on the map. But other scores in college basketball last night, Michigan, 77, Cleveland State, 47. 21st-ranked Michigan State gets a win over 7th-ranked Kansas, 67-64. That was after Michigan State lost the first game of their season overseas on an aircraft carrier in Germany to UConn. Everybody thought UConn would be down. Jim Calhoun recently retired over the offseason amid all the allegations. I don't think they can. Yeah, they're not eligible for postseason play this year. They can't go to the Big East tournament or the NCAA tournament, but still a pretty good team. UCLA 80, UC Irvine 79, 13th ranked UCLA. They should have been a lot better, but Shabazz Muhammad was like the 2nd ranked player in the country.
Had to have been an exciting game to sit in there, though. 80-79.
14th ranked Missouri over Alcorn State, 91-54. 23rd ranked UConn over Vermont, 67-49. As I said, my UC Bearcats, who are deep, played 11 guys 10-plus minutes, which is huge. 102-60 over Mississippi Valley State. San Diego State, 91. San Diego Christian, 57. Let's see. Yeah, for the Bearcats, Sean Kilpatrick scored 13 of his 20 points in the second half. Sheck Mudge had 4 of Cincy's 7 blocks. Mudge. And the Bearcats, I'm excited. They got a 7-footer for the tallest guy ever to play at UC this year. 7'1", David Narsic.
Is he a white guy?
Block shots. No.
Oh, good.
No, he's from Africa. Xavier over Butler yesterday, 62-47. Xavier's playing well. I don't know how good Butler will be, though. Let's see. NBA scores: Charlotte over Washington, 92-76. New York over Orlando, 99-89. We were talking about this earlier. How about that cheerleader in the Orlando game that fell on her neck?
I can't imagine.
And was stretchered off the
That's
court.
That's a pretty nasty injury.
That's scary stuff, man.
You got to think she's probably, 5'2"?
Yeah.
Maybe around there. And then the guy lifting her up was probably like at least 6
Can you imagine being one of those guys that drops somebody? I mean, especially to cause, a lot of those cheerleading injuries can lead to this girl's being paralyzed. I mean, there's a lot of shows that you see about it. So you're
not
smiling.
A sport, though.
You're not a sport.
Like NASCAR.
What do you consider
NASCAR,
sports?
No way is it a sport.
NASCAR isn't a sport. Why?
We need to have Lacey Rocks on the show and have her call in and defend
we
NASCAR.
Should.
Have a NASCAR battle.
Why? Defend women or defend the fact that women drivers or defend the fact that NASCAR isn't a sport?
Everyone knows women can't drive. We're talking about NASCAR.
Yeah.
Although, that's another thing. The fact that women can be in the same league as the men in NASCAR helps make the case that it's not a sport.
What do you consider a sport? What's the definition of a sport?
I'll tell you what a definition of a sport is.
To me, golf isn't a sport.
Listen to this. I think it is, and here's why. If here's my analysis on this. If steroids, think about it, make you better at
what
that
you do?
activity, then it's a sport. if you can take steroids and it will help you win NASCAR, it wouldn't help.
Okay, what about cheerleading?
Cheerleading.
Come on, those guys, if they use steroids, they throw the girls in the air, twist them around a little bit more.
I mean, technically, they have competitions. Just when they're out there on the field in halftime, that's not a sport. They're not.
No,
they're
what
not
the
competing with
NFL
anybody
does
else.
is completely different than what I think.
Like cheerleading competitions, I would consider that a sport. You're actually competing against somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, even though I would never do it. I don't know. But it takes strength and it takes skill. So.
But you're saying NASCAR doesn't take either one. I can see your point.
NASCAR takes and the first. I know what NASCAR people would say. Well, one, you try to do it. Well, yeah, it's driving a car. I could get in there and
go
learn
really
how to
fast.
drive it.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
Yeah. Would it be scary? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun. I don't think it'd be scary.
It'd be fun. It'd be fun, but you're also going 200 miles an hour with
that would be fun.
I think more of the sport in that is the pit crew. I don't think they get enough credit.
No, they don't.
That's a lot cooler than the race itself.
Oh yeah, those guys. But changing a tire is still not a sport.
No, not a sport.
Or putting gas.
Well, they
in the
can
car.
make it. They can make it some kind of a sport. I mean, they could have competitions on how fast they could change a tire.
Well, that's basically
their
what it is.
Steroids could help because they could lift up the car on their own and move it. You never know. I mean, biking to me isn't really even a sport.
I see. To me, it is because. Steroid. Look at what it did for.
I get the steroid connection, so that I get, and it actually makes sense. So,
NASCAR though, no way.
Nope, not happening.
Let's get the old Lacey Rocks on the show.
Yeah,
you think?
We need to have her call in.
All right, we got a song by Spry.
Hook us
Get
up.
us Lacey's number. A song by our man Zim, cameraman Zim. Royal Guardsman, Snoopy's Christmas on Class
Snoopy's
X
Christmas.
Radio.
It's for you.
It's for you, Big Zim.
You got the Stooges on Class X Radio. 88.9.
All three of us.
89.1. All three of us. Blondie.
Are we on 89.3?
You can listen to us.
I don't know.
Okay,
There's pens
here
in
it
here
is.
that have another station on the pens.
Right.
Have like
no, you
98
can.
something.
It does. Actually, you can listen to Class X Radio. Yeah, I don't know. The pens are completely wrong. But you can listen to us. Most of the best signal, I don't know if you guys get it, 88.9 and 89.1. There's also 89.3, which is more of Warren County. But, and the best way to get us really is just classxradio.com. I mean, that's how I listen to it at home. So
Just not very easy when you're driving.
Yeah, it's not very easy when you're driving.
In the car,
but you can get an app on your phone. You can listen to it through your phone. So if you've got, you've got a smartphone, So, and anybody that wants can always call us and join us here in the studio and talk to us.
Out of app space.
You're out of app space. I didn't know that was possible.
Used all my
What do you guys got coming up?
All right, baseball. Actually, quick note on Ben Roethlisberger, because I'm huge into the NFL. I'd probably go NFL and then college basketball top
NFL's
two.
boring.
Love the NFL. Steelers coach Mike Tomlin said that Ben Roethlisberger has a sternoclavicular sprain in his right shoulder, his throwing shoulder. Tomlin didn't provide a timetable for his return, as tests are still being performed. I heard that was like a really rare type of shoulder injury. And I did hear that he was questionable for Sunday's game. Sunday's game against Baltimore. They play Baltimore, Cleveland, Baltimore the next 3 weeks. They played 3 straight division games and 2 against
big team.
Baltimore. And they're the top 2. They're the top of the class. MLB Managers of the Year announced.
I think
Baseball
this is a
Writers
bit weird.
Association of America. You don't like the choices?
I like them. I do.
I would have guessed these probably.
Okay. I would have guessed.
I
would have guessed the National League. I don't know about American League, but
National League. Well, they vote before the playoffs.
Okay.
So it's all regular season.
Then I understand. Yeah.
So Bob Melvin of the Oakland A's, who brought them back from like 10 games down or something ridiculous to end up winning the division, beating Texas, I think in a 1-game playoff. If I'm not mistaken,
it was really close. It was down to
or
very
the last
few games.
day of the year or something. To beat Texas for the division, and then they go on and I don't know if it was them that beat Texas, and then Texas ends up losing in the wild card game, the 1-game playoff in the in the playoffs. So technically, Texas still got in but lost. So Bob Melvin of the Oakland A's, and then this one,
Davey
I think
Johnson,
everybody would have guessed.
yeah.
Washington's Davey Johnson. Most wins in baseball.
For AL, I might go Orioles.
You know, that's a good point.
That's what I would have. I would have thought.
Yeah, you're right. That's probably.
That's probably number two.
Showalter was probably second. Yeah, you're right about that though. I forgot about Showalter.
I mean, yeah.
Baltimore, just based on how bad they've been for so many years, and then what's this like his first or second season there?
Might be a second.
Might be second. It's no longer than his second season in Baltimore. And just how bad they've been. And really, like it's not like they had anybody that was – he had all those guys playing well for the whole year. And at one point, I mean, I have a cousin that's a huge Orioles fan, and at one point he's like, oh, we're dead in the water. They had lost, they started 10 games or something.
They were in a little bit of a slump there for a little while, but then they came back.
And a lot of teams do that. They'll play well up to the All-Star break or something and then just slide off the table. Denise, your thoughts?
Well, actually, I'm reading a message from Lacey Rocks. Lacey Rocks,
did she want to come on?
She actually tried to call in here, but she got some weird Google message. So she said, anyway, tell Garrett that NASCAR is a sport and just recently had a driver suspended for taking performance-enhancing drugs.
For what?
AJ Alamandingo, I don't know how.
What
is it? Almendinger.
That's a fake name,
She called him Walmendinger is what she's calling him.
Making people up, Lacey.
So that'd be me.
I will debate her on that any day.
Well, that's what she's like. If you would like to call her, you can do that. I have her number, but I don't know how much longer we have as far as being on the air. I think we should call her tomorrow.
Yes, so tell Lacey to send us a picture.
Pull up a picture of Lacey Rocks. Right here, she's my Facebook friend. We'll pull her up.
So she's like, she's local.
She's listening. So yeah, apparently she is. She did work up at Class X when they did.
Lacey Rocks. Let's check her out.
Okay, well, Lacey, they're checking you out.
Other baseball news: a big trade between the Marlins and Toronto Blue Jays. Oh, hey, Lacey. Come on, anytime I'll debate you.
We will call you tomorrow, Lacey. You send me a text or a message on Facebook, and that's where I see it. The phone's a little weird.
According to sources, the Marlins and Blue Jays agreed to a multiple-player trade. Jose Reyes, Josh Johnson, Mark Burley, John Buck, and Emilio Bonifacio headed to Toronto. Yunel Escobar, Henderson Alvarez, Jeff Mathis, and prospects Jake Marisnik. I don't even know how to say that guy's name. Justin, a bunch of prospects are headed to Miami. Basically, the Marlins dumped their whole payroll.
Right.
And
they should have.
One of their players, Giancarlo Stanton, I know, tweeted that he was pissed about all these guys. They're going to suck next year.
Well, they built the team up.
They're rebuilding
for this year. Yeah.
They
rebuilt to rebuild.
Let's board the train and get out of here.
They built to win and then lost big. They were the worst team.
What kind of train you wanting to get on there, Zim?
Let's just board this train and lay it down.
Arlo Guthrie, one of my favorite, one of the classics. Arlo Guthrie, City of New Orleans on Class X Radio. We'll be back tomorrow.
The Bulldog will be back.
6 a.m.
Illinois Central, Monday.